Welcome to the November meeting of the Bismarck Board of Park Commissioners. I will ask Julie to call the roll, please.
Commissioner Gilbertson,
Here.
Herzog,
Here.
Redmond,
Here.
Jeske,
Here.
President Zimmerman.
Here. I would ask if you wish to please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Our next item agenda is the approval of the meeting agenda for tonight. Commissioners,
So moved.
Second.
motion by Commissioner Gilbertson, second by Commissioner Jeske. Julie, if you'll call the roll, please.
Commissioner Gilbertson,
Aye.
Herzog,
Yes.
Redmond,
Aye.
Jeske,
Aye.
President Zimmerman.
Aye. Our next item is our featured partners and programs. This evening is Bismarck, and we have with us the operations manager for Bismarck, Lindsay Jungi. I hope I pronounced that right, Lindsay?
Young.
Jung, thank you.
Young, as in young.
Young, okay, I'm sorry.
Hello,
My apologies, but thank you.
that is okay. Mike asked me to be here, just kind of talk about things. I'm actually the president of the board now, no longer operations manager, so stepped up a notch.
There, how's that? Oh, now you can hear me. All right. Anyways, yes, my name is Lindsay. I am now the president of the board of directors. I was the market manager for a couple of years. Bismarck is our farmers market in the area. We have, we have cottage foods, we have produce, we have arts and crafts, ready-to-eat food trucks, music, kids, which it's a great community thing that we go along with Parks and Rec. Thank you for all you have done for us. Thank you for our meeting last week and moving forward. And yeah, Mike just asked me to come and talk about it and answer any questions that you guys might have. So here I am. It's my first month as president, so be nice to me.
We're nothing but nice. Go ahead.
Well, we'll certainly ask commissioners for questions, and I'll start with Commissioner Redmond.
Thank you, President Zimmerman. Lindsay, thanks for being here.
Yes.
I love your use of Kiwanis Park. I think when Bismarck first started, there was a few vendors winding through the park, and now you've certainly expanded onto the street, and use of Kiwanis Park is so nice. But also, I love the way you are involving community with asking different nonprofit groups to be there at various times, and also use of local artists to entertain. And so it certainly has become a community impact event, and so just thanks for what you do every
Yes.
Saturday, and people look forward to it. I've been nearby and don't dare buy anything until the horn goes off at 10 o'clock to
The
purchase
horn
them.
honk, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, so thanks, and Bismarck, it really is a wonderful community event, so thanks for your part
Thank
in
you.
that. You're
Yeah, thank
welcome.
you. It became my heart and soul when I got hired. Who would know a former vet tech? Her thing in life would be a farmer's market, But yeah, it's been my heart and soul, so
Thank you.
do the best I can.
Commissioner Jeske.
Thank you, President Zimmerman. Lindsay, just a couple questions. Is there a way that you can track the number of people who come there? Because I know I have been there. But I'm just kind of curious how many people you usually get in the summer.
So market manager does a count at 10:15, 11:15, 12:15. We've got the little clickers. This year we averaged, trying to think, almost 1,000 people per market. That was just average, obviously in the beginning. I think opening day this last season was over 2,000. It was our biggest attendance ever, the entire season. We broke so many records this season in attendance, in the number of vendors, sales. It was just a lot bigger than any of us thought it would be. It was a little bit of a surprise, but we do go around and counting, and, it's not probably 100% accurate, obviously, but it definitely kind of gets a number.
And then, Lindsay, do the vendors pay to participate?
They do.
Okay.
Yep, they have a vendor fee. Depends on which side they're on. We have early bird vendor for the season until, I think, April 1st, April 30th, I can't remember. And then they pay full price, or they can do per day.
Okay. And then, do you have a max number of vendors that you take?
We do
You'll
not.
just take as many as
We
can line
have
the streets and all
pretty
the way
much,
down to
yeah,
Sertoma Park?
We have the whole street, and I talked to Kevin and them, and we're going to kind of go into a little bit into the park this next season, just to kind of keep it more. But yeah, we don't have a max number yet.
Okay.
Maybe
And-
maybe someday.
I know Commissioner Redmond had talked about the variety of offerings. So, you know, I've gone there before and there's been yoga in the park. Is that something that, did they pay to have a vendor fee for that, or did they just show up? Because it's really a nice enhancement.
Right. Yeah, we invite Transitions Yoga to come and be there at 9 o'clock. They're usually there till August 30th. That's just a partnership thing. And then they actually have like free will donations they have 3 different charities, and you can put it in whatever bucket you want, and that's where it goes to. They also have free coffee once in a while, free will donation coffee. So it's just something we work with them to get donations for the community.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all that you do, and congratulations on your promotion.
Well, thank you.
Commissioner Herzog?
Thanks, Commissioner Zimmerman, and Lindsay, thanks again. I'm glad to hear that, getting vendors has been good, and that you might have, you're expanding and things like that, which is fantastic, and God bless you for doing outdoor events. Every once in a while, you look at the weather forecast.
A little cold.
Yeah. But what do you guys need going forward? Are there any, besides kind of the physical space, any other limitations? Do you need more power, more water, or things like that you guys are looking at for future growth?
Right, yeah, we definitely need more electricity. We've actually had to turn a few vendors. A few vendors haven't even, they want to sign up, but we can't accommodate the electrical access. So we definitely need more of that. That's probably our biggest thing. We have a generator, but to pull that out every weekend for two vendors, it's not really worth it. So electrical is probably our biggest thing. We're just getting so big. So,
Lindsay, I may have missed it. How many years has Bismarck been operating?
This was our 13th season, technically 12 as Bismarck. The first season was in Sertoma. I guess it had about 4 vendors, and then they became the nonprofit and started actually becoming a thing. It was just kind of a fun little, here's our community gardens, and we'll just sell them some things, and then it turned into Bismarck. It was part of
Bismarck mandate.
Goes Bismarck, yeah. And I'm still kind of learning the whole background of people that were in the beginning aren't necessarily around still. So I'm just trying to find that. But yeah, they started 13 years ago, so this was our 13th season, and next year will be our 14th. So I think we've been at Kiwanis for 10 or 11 years now. So
I would ask, where are your vendors? They're not all local. I know the one community, I think, out of South Dakota, the farm,
Nope. All of our vendors have to be North Dakota. They all have to be North Dakota local. They have to be from North Dakota. We can have third-party vendors from outside the state. They have to get special permissions, pay special prices, and whoever is at their booth selling things has to have, quite a bit of knowledge for it. But we try and do North Dakota local everything. That's just one of our main rules. You need to be North Dakota because we focus very much on the North Dakota community.
Well, thank you, Lindsay. I go there. I know by the batch, it seems a couple of times I missed the caramel rolls.
Yes, you have.
But
yeah.
there's some great vendors there. I think you
There are.
evidently have a good reputation for for folks to have their booth there to be able to make some sales. So
Yeah.
thank you and good luck in the 14th season.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're excited. We have very excited board members that aren't just looking for next season; they're looking forward. So, it's exciting.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Our next item on the agenda is the consideration of a request to continue the management of the Burley County Parks. And we have with us this evening Burley County Commissioner and former Park Commissioner, Commissioner Wayne Munson.
You're making me wish I was sitting on that side of the table, aren't you? Well, President Zimmerman and Commissioners, as Mark stated, I am Burley County Commissioner Wayne Munson. I am before you today asking for your consideration to extend the agreement that Burley County has with the Park District to continue managing our parks as well as our boat ramps. I can give Dave and his staff a lot of credit. You guys have done a phenomenal job for us. Our parks are in phenomenal shape. The work that you guys have done for us has been excellent. And I'm really hoping that we can continue that relationship. Questions?
Questions from commissioners?
'Cause I know somebody's got one.
Oh, we got questions. I just don't want to go first.
Why don't we, we'll
I will.
go ahead, Commissioner Redmond.
Commissioner Munson, thanks for being here.
Yes.
And also, thank you for your heart for public parks and recreation. I know your experience here has carried over into the Burley County Commission, and I appreciate your desire to educate and advocate for Bismarck Parks and Recreation. It's duly noted, but I also know that after a vote is said that you go forward with one voice, as you, of course, are as professional as you are. So I appreciate that. The timing of your request, of course, is a little difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Because of, unfortunately, in October, the county commission voting to discontinue the recreation levy. So it's a little tough because the feeling that recreation isn't important to the Burley County Commission is a little tough for us to, I will not speak for the board, of course, but tough for me to swallow right now. So that's probably what I'm just going to stop at this point and see what my fellow commissioners have to say. But it's a tough ask right now.
Commissioner Redmond, I completely understand. I am one of 5, and I can be kind of loud, but being loud doesn't make any difference on the vote. I can advocate as much as I can. I can hope for a better turnout at the next election, and I can pray that we can make this better. I have no guarantees.
Of course. I understand.
And I will always do my best. My heart is with the Park District. When I was elected Burley County, that was the first portfolio I was going after because of my relationship with you. And that being said, I don't expect me to sway your decision. This is a decision between the Bismarck Park Board and Burley County Commission. So please, don't take it that I'm here asking. Burley County is here asking. And so there's not going to be any hard feelings depending on how this vote goes. I do know that we are, now here's where the politics comes in, right? I do know we're in a much better shape with Bismarck Parks taking care of our parks. And so I really do hope we can continue that.
I'll go to Commissioner Gilbertson. Did you have questions?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, in visiting, with Executive Director Klipfeld, I mean, I do share a lot of the same concerns that Commissioner Redmond has. The timing is not great, especially when, comments are made. Various comments are made. It's tough to think, well, like that this is a valued partnership. The recreation levy is an important thing. It's I mean, it's levied only against the citizens of Bismarck, and it primarily goes to improvements and things in the city of Bismarck. But I feel that sometimes there may be some people that forget that the citizens of Bismarck are also residents of Burley County.
78% of them.
Yeah, and I mean, that is, it is difficult. It is difficult, and to know what this, the Park District has done in the county, and yes, there are some pretty major things in the county that are run with agreements with the Corps of Engineers or the Burley County Water, that wouldn't be affected. But there are also some some pretty major things that that would be affected, and you know, to say, you know, for our budget and such to take a hit to provide those resources and those opportunities within the county, I mean, to me, that's a big assumption.
Yeah.
That's a real big assumption, given the fact that every taxing entity is feeling pinch
Right.
now. You know, based on things that the legislature has done, federal government, all that stuff, and you know, I. Again, personally, you know, from having sat on this side of the table, people can say what they want about the fiscal management of the Park District. It's good and it's strong, and all you have to do is spend 15 minutes listening to Kathy and Finance Director Kathy and Executive Director Cliffell talk, and you know that it's run on a conservative budget. They are managers and directors do amazing jobs, and it is just, to me, it feels as a commissioner, it feels just grossly assumptive to think that this isn't going to have any impact on what we do.
I know it's going to have an
You know,
impact.
so
That's why I said, don't
Yep.
look
Yep,
at
no,
Wayne here.
No, and
This is Burley County
exactly,
Commission.
and that's where I'm directing it to.
And I
It's,
understand that walking up here.
I'm directing it to the Burley County Commission, that it's egregiously assumptive, I think, so.
Commissioner Jeske?
President Zimmerman, Wayne, we appreciate you standing up here. Sometimes when you are an elected official, you have to have broad shoulders, thick skin, and short toes.
I don't know about that
Maybe
side
not,
of it.
but
The other
yeah.
two, I'm good.
But, you know, for us, for me personally, this is really difficult because I've always really taken a lot of pride in the fact that the Park District has been a good partner with the school board, with the county, with the city. So we don't want to make a motion that impacts our citizens deeply, but we also need to make sure that we protect the Park District.
That's your job.
What we do. So, and I know you can appreciate that. And yeah, I'm going to reiterate what Commissioner Gilbertson has said. Some of the comments that have been made are, they're hurtful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we're not doing this, I mean, this is not about revenge.
No.
But this is about making sure that we are being fiscally responsible to the Park District. And, you know, we have a lot of work, and we've enjoyed our partnership with the Burley County. But I think sometimes maybe absence makes a heart grow fonder. And maybe in a year or two, if there's new boards, you know, it might be an opportunity to revisit this, deciding how we move forward. And I know there's a opportunity to cancel this contract at any point too, or this agreement. But yeah, like I said, just put a lot of thoughtful consideration into this, because I don't want to see a decrease in some of the good services that we've been able to provide to the Burley County Park District, or the Burley County citizens. But yeah, thank you for coming here.
It's no
and
different than
taking
the
the
clause that
bullets.
was in the JPA. You know, it goes both ways. Yep.
Commissioner Herzog?
Well, thanks, President Zimmerman and Commissioner Munson. I won't repeat what these folks have said. I will say, I just want to say thank you. I will watch those meetings. when it came around to that JPA situation, I believe your vote was absolutely not, which is not one you hear all that often. So I appreciate that. You've just been a huge supporter. Obviously, you've sat in these chairs, and Commissioner Woodcox as well. I was able to chat with him a little bit. So I appreciate both of your guys' support and understanding of what we do here.
Oh, yeah.
And I just wanted to say that to you because you've been a great advocate. And I watch those meetings and listen to you, and you can be loud in a good way. I knew you were here because I could hear you laughing when I was coming down the stairs. But yeah, I just appreciate what you've done in this partnership as well. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you very much.
Commissioner Munson, I consider you a friend as well as a colleague, so I thank you for attending the meeting tonight. I think you knew what the tenor or the opinion was, but I appreciate your willingness to clarify that. All good comments from all the commissioners, and that's my pleasure in serving with them. They say it a lot better than I do. My one thought would be, whatever the motion is here, is that there would be a chance to revisit. There'll be a new park board in a year, perhaps. There'll be perhaps new county commissioners and a chance to step back and revisit it. So again, I appreciate you being here this evening. Any other comments from commissioners or Executive Director Klipfel? Do we have a motion?
President Zimmerman, I would move that that the Park Board of Commissioners of Bismarck not renew the contract with Burley County and let it lapse.
I will second that motion.
We have a motion by Commissioner Gilbertson, second by Commissioner Jeske. Any further discussion? Commissioner Herzog?
Just maybe a question for Executive Director Klipfel, because again, I'm the newbie here, so I wanted to know, does this affect our staff? How would, we do, our staff member that's doing that, in terms of a budget consideration, just so the folks that are listening understand maybe what we're talking about a little bit better. Yeah.
And if I might add, Commissioner Herzog, can you let the citizens know what will be affected?
What will be affected, okay.
Yes.
President Zimmerman, Commissioners, Commissioner Herzog, and Gilbertson. So staffing-wise, there will not be any change in staff as far as letting anybody go. Our staff person that was responsible for this area spent about half of his time dedicated to Burley County Parks. We have more than enough things for him to do. In fact, with the way things have grown over the last 2 or 3 years, we have some duties that we think that we could assign to that position and keep him more than busy. And so the pieces of the agreement for the Burley County Park agreement, the pieces that we manage for Burley County, the Burley County Commission, Burley County Park Board, was the Missouri Valley Complex. So we did all the scheduling out there, and maintenance, and the community gardens, and then we managed the boat ramps in the county for that, and that was the big pieces of the agreement. And then Commissioner Munson was talking about Driscoll Park, which is another one they wanted to add to the list this year because the group that was taking care of that park for them in the past was unable to do it anymore. So that would be the affected pieces of property.
Commissioners, any further questions? If not, before the vote, I just want to mention I checked with our legal advisor here, John, and we will, whatever the motion is here, we will draft the letter accordingly and have it sent out at a proper time frame. Julie, if you'd call the roll, please.
Commissioner Gilbertson?
Aye.
Herzog?
Yes.
Redmond?
Aye.
Jeske?
Aye.
President Zimmerman?
Aye. Again, thank you, Commissioner Munson, for appearing this evening. We appreciate that, and we'll have the letter sent out. Commissioner Redmond?
I just wanted to make a note. Operations Director Dave Mayer, would you please pass our thanks on to your staff for the good care that was taken care of, as Commissioner Munson mentioned, of the Burley County areas that are part of this contract, what good care Mr. Girding took care of for the past 10 years. I appreciate that very much. If you'd pass that along from the commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Redmond. Next item on the agenda is a disposition of bids. And again, for the folks watching the meeting, I want to review those, and if commissioners have questions, I know we have staff here as well as Executive Director Klipfel can provide any additional information. We are looking under the discussion of disposition of bids is the sanitary sewer system in Sertoma Park. There is a memo that was provided to commissioners. And then also the Riverwood Golf Course concessions. And Facilities and Programs Director Mike Wald provided a summary of the bids and proposed agreement for the commissioners' consideration. Again, if commissioners have some questions that they feel should be discussed more here publicly, please feel free to do so. And we'll ask Executive Director Klipfel, and I see Mike is here. All right, and we have okay, very good. Susan, I'm sorry.
So am I.
I know what you're going to say here, yeah. I'm sorry, I thought you were just available if you want, if we had questions. But
Oh, wow.
Susan, thank you for coming back up here, so please proceed.
Thank you, President and Commissioners. Here we are again with Sertoma Park restrooms. We did not receive any bids. We have both Mr. Klipfel and I and Dave have talked to as many contractors as we could about this project and not gotten constructive criticism or decent feedback on this. I don't have a good excuse for this. You had the quote from Denny's in the spring, but Denny's didn't bid either time. The one bid we did get earlier this year was outrageously high. This time we got no bids at all. I just don't understand it. To me, from a technical standpoint, this project is not that complicated. We did get some comments from Denny's today that we're going to discuss. That my initial perusal of those comments, forgive my bluntness, but it's kind of BS.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, Sue. I want to see how that's going to come out in the minutes.
We will certainly continue to work with the Park District to get this done somehow. There are limited options in that location, so that's where we stand.
Susan, if you'll take a couple questions.
Certainly.
Commissioner Jeske.
President Zimmerman. So Susan, thank you. So define BS for me. So really, I understand what BS means, but what were some of their concerns or some of the rationales they gave for either not bidding or coming back? And then what's, Executive Director Klipfel, what's next steps? Do we put this back out again? Hopefully people are a little bit more hungry in 2026. I just kind of want to get some feedback from you on what were some of Denny's concerns?
Some of Denny's concerns, and I did print off this list so I could address them. They wanted to reduce the overall depth of the package lift station, which the lift station has to be a certain volume to handle the amount of flow it's going to receive. And you could make it less deep, but you'd have to make it wider. So you'd have to dig a bigger hole, a wider hole, just not as deep. To me, that's a horse apiece.
That's a strange answer, yeah.
They wanted to reduce the warranty from 5 years to 3 years, which I don't recommend that. They did note here that they wanted us to allow alternative manufacturers for the package station, which if you read the specs, we based it on what we got from Dakota Pump, but if you could provide a approved equal, it's in the specs that you can do that. They also said to reduce the requirements of the anti-flotation base to manufacturer's requirements, and you're in a high groundwater area and a flood zone. Reducing an anti-flotation device is not really a good idea. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
And then Executive Director Klipfel, what next steps? What do we do? Try again? 3 strikes, we're out?
President Zimmerman, Commissioners, Commissioner Jeske, I think we want to sit down. These comments were what Denny's Electric got from their underground service companies. They were trying to work with two different underground service providers. And so I think we need to set up a meeting with Denny's and these providers to find out, maybe dig in a little more detail to what their concerns are, and if we can talk through them and make them feel comfortable with what we've laid out, or at least find some common ground there. We've talked about alternatives. We could put a drain field in that for that facility, which we already have, but you would take out a lot of trees. You can't replant trees in that location, so we thought this was the best solution to the problem, is to try to hook it up to the sanitary sewer system. So, and I would like to, if the board so approves, we would like to meet with those groups and try to figure out what the solution is and try to bid it out again so that we can get it done sometime.
Thank you.
Commissioner Herzog?
Thanks, President Zimmerman, and thank you, your two-letter comment, I understand. I guess my question is, so we get these, alerts happen fairly frequently, and then I'll reach out to contractors and say, do you not like, working with us, or what's the, hanging out with us? Let's get some bids. And the only thing they said was, it's been such a nice fall as well that they're just kind of rushing to get, even though this would be done, next year and stuff, their crews are all great. We've got some extra warm weather. We're just going to keep pounding away on finishing projects this year and stuff. So I feel like if we bid it again and you go through those issues, then we might get luckier just from a timing perspective if we bid in the next, I don't know about Christmas, but, when before they're
January.
committed in 2026, but after they've kind of finished up this unusually nice warm fall as well. So thank you for everything.
Commissioner Gilbertson?
The only thing I can think of is that the bathroom's haunted, that nobody wants to do it. But I would make a motion to direct Director Clipfell and the appropriate staff to meet with yourself is appropriate, but meet with the contractors and come up with a workable, viable plan that we can send to be rebid at an appropriate time.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Gilbertson, second by Commissioner Redmond. Any further questions of Susan or Director Clipfell? If you'd call the roll, Julie?
Commissioner Gilbertson,
Aye.
Herzog,
Yes.
Redmond,
Aye.
Jeske,
Aye.
President Zimmerman.
Aye. And again, Susan, my apologies for not recognizing you as you came up, but thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
And Mike Wald would stand at the podium for review and questions on the concession contracts. Good evening, Mike.
Good evening, President Zimmerman and Commissioners. The Bismarck Park District opened 3 bids for Riverwood Golf Course concessions on September 23rd. The bids were from MK Events, Bismarck Food Service, Dirty Bean LLC, Classic Rock Cafe. We interviewed the top 2 candidates, Bismarck Food Service and Dirty Bean LLC, on November 6th to discuss their plans for service of the Riverwood Golf Course. The minimum sales percentage for food and beverages sales excluding vending machines and alcoholic beverages after local and state sales tax was set at 15%. Dirty Bean LLC bid 23%, and Bismarck Food Service bid 22.2%. The minimum rent payment for the bid was $8,800. Dirty Bean LLC submitted an amount of $28,500 each year, and Bismarck Food Service submitted an amount of $27,000 each year. After reviewing the rent and sales percentages and interviewing the 2 vendors, staff recommends the board accepting the bid provided by Dirty Bean LLC, Classic Rock Cafe, for the 26 and 27 golf season, along with the proposed agreement in your packet.
Thank you, Mike. I'll ask if any commissioners have questions. We'll start with Commissioner Gilbertson.
It's awesome to see more than one come in on a concession thing. That I don't know that how many times that's happened. Not very many. Are there going to be any specific or vastly noticeable changes in going with Dirty Bean?
President Zimmerman, Commissioners, Commissioner Gilbertson, I think, reviewing Dirty Bean LLC's menu was more robust, bigger, offered different varieties of food and breakfasts, so I think that's probably where you're going to see the biggest.
Cool. Thank you.
Commissioner Redmond,
No, nothing, sorry.
Commissioner Herzog.
Thanks, President Zimmerman. Or Kevin or Mike, so when we look at the monthly rental fee, it's May through, it's August, right? Or September, excuse me. In the months that are not May through September, do we have an opportunity to do anything else? Because they don't have to be open necessarily, right, in those off months? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm still new. I'm
President
gonna play that
Zimmerman,
card.
Commissioners, Commissioner Herzog. Usually what's happened is if the course opens earlier, the vendor opens as well, or if we happen to stay later, or able to play later, excuse me, they look at staying there.
Okay.
Executive Director Clipfeld.
President Zimmerman, Commissioners, Commissioner Herzog, and the one thing that we package the rent rates based on, we know the shouldn't say this, we know the golf course is gonna be open in May, we know it's gonna be open through September, and so that's when we concentrate those payments, knowing that the golf season in October and April could be a little suspect.
Okay. I guess my other question with that is if we ever get snow and we can do cross-country skiing, it'd be nice sometimes if that's open for other, hot chocolate or something like that, or opportunities to do that, if there are folks down there on those off months. So other than that, did you guys feel comfortable? You interviewed the others. You feel comfortable with having somebody new?
President Zimmerman, Commissioners, Commissioner Herzog, yes.
I'm ready to make a motion, if there's no further discussion.
I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, I will make a motion that we accept the concession vendor agreement from Dirty Bean LLC Classic Rock Cafe for Riverwood Golf Course for the 26 and 27 season.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Jeske, second by Commissioner Gilbertson. Any further discussions? If not, Julie, I'll ask you to call the roll, please.
Commissioner Gilbertson,
Aye.
Herzog,
Yes.
Redmond,
Aye.
Jeske,
Aye.
President Zimmerman.
Aye. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you for the presentation. The next item on the agenda is consideration of the Human Resource Policy and Procedure Handbook updates. Our Administrative Service Manager, Julie Fornshell, will review the proposed updates for this handbook for consideration.
Thank you.
Julie?
Thank you, President Zimmerman and Commissioners. Attached in your packet, you will have the proposed changes to the HR Policy and Procedure Handbook that has been reviewed by Executive Director and myself and executive team members. And the changes are to clean up the language to reflect the handbook's development date with the most current approval date. It got to be kind of wordy when we had every approval date that's been ever approved for the handbook. Also to update the vision, mission, and core values as they were updated during our strategic planning session earlier this year. Page 20 contains information about the seasonal and part-time employee benefits card. We implemented that in 23 as a trial basis, and now we're adding that into our HR handbook. On pages 23 and 25, we talk about district employees. Well, this handbook is for Park District employees, so we're just taking out the word district. And page 67 is just some formatting on that page that has always it hasn't been consistent with the rest of the handbook, so I'm just proposing that we update the formatting. There's no verbiage change on that page. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them.
Thank you, Julie. Any questions for Julie?
I move for approval of the proposed changes to the Park District's HR Policy and Procedure Handbook.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Redmond, second by Commissioner Jeske. Any further discussion? If not, Julie, if you'll call the roll, please.
Commissioner Gilbertson,
Aye.
Herzog,
Yes.
Redmond,
Aye.
Jeske,
Aye.
President Zimmerman.
Aye. Thank you, Julie, and Executive Director Klipfeld for putting that together. It's good to keep it up to date. Our next item on the agenda is the consent agenda, and please allow me to read our procedure on that. A variety of items have been placed in a consent agenda. A consent agenda may be approved by one motion, or an item or items can be removed for additional discussion and separate action. Staff recommends the approval of the following items. Consideration of the October 16th, 2025 board meeting minutes. Consider accepting the land donation from the Silbernagle family, Silver Ranch Edition 18 LLP. A letter was included in the packet asking the Park District to accept a donation of some property approximately 5.85 acres. The letter outlines from the Silbernagle family how the land would be developed and used. Next item was consideration of Superslide Extension Addendum. The owners of Superslide have provided a letter to the Commission confirming their intention to continue their agreement to operate the Superslide Amusement Park within Sertoma Park for years 6 through 10. The proposed operation addendum was included in the Park Board packet. Next item was a request authorization to select consultants for the 2026 projects. Request board authorization to call for portable toilet bids, and Operations Director David Mayer has provided a memo requesting authorization to call for bids. The last item is consideration to approve consultant for General Sibley Day Use Area Road Project Consultant. The Park District has received funding of up to $300,000 from the Special Road Fund Program to assist with this project, and the Park District needs to match 40% of the total project funds. It has been budgeted for the Park District for 2026, and the proposed budget will provide an asphalt overlay of the existing roadways, parking, and boat ramp within the day use portion of General Sibley Park. Commissioners, your wishes on the consent agenda?
I move approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Or second?
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Gilbertson, second by Commissioner Redmond. Any further discussion?
We just have, if I may, we're just missing,
Commissioner Herzog?
we're missing a zero on the Park District has received funding of we're missing 101 there. But I'm sure
I
they'll
move
send the check for the
approval
full
of the
amount.
consent agenda as presented with the addition of the appropriate zero.
Last bullet. Got it.
Any further discussion or comments? Before we take the vote, I just wanted, on a couple of those, I know the commissioners are certainly aware of the generosity of the Silbernagle family as we develop park properties in the Silver Ranch division east of the city. But for folks to know that the Silbernagle family has been working with, of course, the developers out there, but as well as the Park District with their intent of developing some green space and some parks at Silver Ranch. I would also like to publicly thank the families at Superslide that for continuing what I think is another gem in our park system. It's not operated by the Park District, but certainly in Sertoma Park, and that has been a long-standing great place for families to come, and I'm glad to see that that family will continue operation at the Superslide. I would ask, we're looking for a vote, but if any other commissioners wanted to make comments, that was quite a lengthy consent agenda. Anyone else? If not, Julie, I'll ask you to call the roll, please.
Commissioner Gilbertson,
Aye.
Herzog,
Yes.
Redmond,
Aye.
Jeske,
Aye.
President Zimmerman.
Aye. That concludes, we have approval of the bills.
So moved.
Second?
Motion by Commissioner Jeske, second by Commissioner Gilbertson. Any questions? If not, Julie, if you'll call the roll, please.
Commissioner Gilbertson,
Aye.
Herzog,
Yes.
Redmond,
Aye.
Jeske,
Aye.
President Zimmerman.
Aye. Before we adjourn the meeting, I wish to thank our staff that are present here this evening and all of our staff. We had a recognition luncheon on Tuesday, and I and all the commissioners appreciated the opportunity to visit. Oh, Representative, there we go again.
I had school
Commissioner
stuff.
Gilbertson.
Yeah, I had some pretty important school stuff to do.
What?
Use the school.
I had some previously scheduled meetings.
You had to stay after school.
Yes, that I couldn't get out of. Yeah.
Using time out.
But yes, thank you to the staff. It was enjoyable to see all of you there and recognize some of you for your long service to the district. It certainly is evident in our programs and our facilities, the Bismarck Park District. And to everyone, I extend a wishes for a joyous and thankful Thanksgiving holiday. Any other commissioners wish to make any comments? If not,
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
I know Halloween was a long time ago, but President Zimmerman, commissioners, I don't think Spencer's here, but I got to volunteer at the Halloween thing, which was awesome, the Halloween Carnival at the World War Memorial Building. And Spencer was there. There's people running all over the place, so I just want to appreciate everybody's time in either setting that up or tearing that down or volunteering. It was a fun event. So
it
thank you
is.
guys so much.
Thank you. The next regular board meeting of the Bismarck Board of Park Commissioners is December 18th, 2025 at 5:15 here in the fabulous Tom Baker Meeting Room. Meeting adjourned.